I've just realized I'm following on from Nelson Mandela and then the magnificent dance and singing performance before that. I really feel I have very big shoes to fill. I'm going to do my best. I'm actually an educator and I'm also a game designer. And in actual fact, I'm going to come back to what Nelson Mandela was talking about there, because it does come back to one thing I want to stress in this presentation, which is about motivation. But before that, because I'm a game designer, I want to play a very short game. Can I get everybody to stand up? This is a very simple game. I didn't invent this. This is one I've used in elementary schools, nursery schools, high schools. This is called Sit Down If. Sit down if you are a member of a frequent flyer program. Okay, quite a lot of people. Sit down if you have a Starbucks card or a Costco card or some sort of loyalty card that you get points when you spend or you go to that store. Okay, slight change in the ages perhaps of the people that are left. Sit down if you have a smartphone and you play games on that phone. Okay, we're getting there. I'm not sure about some of the older people with this question, but I'm going to try it anyway. Sit down if you have an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3 or something like that and you play on those. Sit down if you like playing games like Scrabble or cards or Monopoly. Okay, we've got a few people left. Sit down if you've ever bought a raffle ticket. Okay, well, I have just about covered everybody in this room. I'm kind of scratching my head. There may be some people standing at the front, but I think we have 3 people left. I wonder what I can say about what you do with games. Sit down if you're ever walking along the footpath and you want to get ahead of the person in front of you. You want to beat them. Okay, I've got one. And you know what? The last 2 people left, they like playing games too, and I'll tell you why. Because they want to win this game. So I'll get everybody to sit down. Thank you. That was just a little illustration of a whole lot of the ways the world has become gamified. A frequent flyer program is really getting you to participate in a game because you are earning points, you are trying to gain status, you are trying to move up the rungs to get better rewards. Games go back all the way to the very beginning of human history. In the Mahabharata, there is the Chaucer game, I believe, which was, I think, a dice game. And that is going back thousands of years here. In other cultures, games go all the way back. So people are inherently interested and find games entertaining and interesting. What my challenge as an educator is I want to see if I can bring that same engagement and interest that happens in games to learning experiences. And I can give you a very good example. I have a 10-year-old son, and he loves a game called Minecraft. And I can hear lots of people nodding their heads around the room. Either they know it or their children do. My son had his I think it was his 9th birthday party. And I said, what would you like to do for your 9th birthday party? You know, you can have all your classmates from school. We could go to the movies. We could go ice skating. We could do whatever. He said, I only want 3 friends. I said, why? You can have all 20 children in your class if you want. I only want 3. The reason why is because on the Xbox 360, you can only split the screen in 4. So you can only have 4 players. So he only wanted to have 4. If he had 5, that would have caused a problem because one person would have to miss out. They'd have to rotate. I ended up taking him to the movies that day because I felt guilty that this child's birthday party consisted just of kids sitting in front of an Xbox screen playing for 8 hours. Actually, it was a sleepover. I'm not sure they got any sleep at all. And then, of course, as soon as we got back from the movies, back in front of it. That is engagement. That's the sort of thing that if we could get into learning experiences, would be incredibly powerful. There are two types of motivation that happen in games. There's extrinsic motivation, which is getting reward points, going up in levels, getting increased status. In a classroom, the teacher might promise you a sweet if you finish your homework. That's not the powerful one. The powerful one is something that a game like Minecraft seems to have captured, and that's intrinsic motivation. That's driven by an interest and an excitement in the task itself. That's the sort of thing that we want to try and see if we can capture in learning experiences. And I'm really interested in seeing if we can even take that further. Because if we have people playing these games, perhaps we can also track their progress, not to just go up in levels, but to track their competency. All our students here in India, if they're interested in going to study overseas, are going to need a TOEFL certification or an IELTS certification. If you play a game, you are interacting with others, you are reading, and you are thinking, you're engaging in a whole lot of skills and competencies. If we could track and model those, rather than just as some existing gamified programs out there like Memrise, give you rewards as you go up and maybe say, we think you've reached this level of competency. I love the idea that maybe after someone like my son has played a game like Minecraft for 10 hours, all of a sudden they could print out a TOEFL 500 certificate because they've actually demonstrated all of those skills and competencies by playing the game. I think the possibilities there are very exciting, and I think the people in this room, the young people in this room who are thinking about games and apps, they're the ones that are the people that have to take this further. But you know, it's not just technological. Games don't have to be done on an iPhone or a device or a computer. Games work just as effectively in the classroom or in social situations with pen and paper or a board. They can be a very powerful way of exploring all sorts of complex situations. They're very, very good for teaching empathy because you can put someone in a game in somebody else's shoes. Yesterday, we did 2 simulation games with some of the T-Gulf students. In one, they had to put themselves in the minds of construction engineers to build a bridge from India to Nepal. And the challenge was the Prime Minister of Australia, that was me, and a school bus full of children were going to go across that bridge as soon as it was built. Games are a good way of simulating something. We wouldn't want to build a bridge and send the Prime Minister across straight away. The other simulation we did was we simulated using a mobile learning network just with pen and paper because we wanted to explore some issues of acceptable use, about being anonymous on the internet, about knowing who it is you're interacting with, about viruses, about encryption and so on. And we did this with pen and paper. And I actually saved this from the experience yesterday. We had people sending email messages written on paper. We had a network that was delivering it. When we needed more bandwidth, we called more people in from the side to do the running around. Someone worked out how to send a virus. They've written 23 from 18. Virus. Sneeze, then pass this on. This is the sort of thing that could be taught in school classrooms, in villages where the internet has not yet come, but is going to come very soon. At the moment in India, I know that there are about 250 mobile phones. In 5 years, there may be 500 million mobile phones, and 250 million of them will be smartphones. The potential, the opportunities for using games to broaden people's opportunities, experiences, develop their competencies is almost limitless. And I think it's up to lots and lots of the young people in that room to see if they can help take that forward. So I leave those possibilities with all of you. Thank you very much. Great.
T-Gelf, leading the change.